Welcome back to TVH TV. I'm glad you returned. If you are returning and watching another video, thank you for your return. We really do appreciate it if you like, subscribe, follow, comment, share. You know the routine. Um, if you're wondering why I'm slightly dressed up, it is because we're going out this evening. I know. I'm It is what it is. I am ready, however, waiting on my beloved wife, as usual, to get ready. But that's okay. That's just something that comes with the territory of being a very happily married man. So, let's get started. What are we going to be talking about today? Today, we are going to be talking about a little bit of my addiction story, okay? And to not get into the deep, dark depths of addiction, but just to share with you a little bit. So, as of today, my sobriety date is 11/7/2022. Okay? So, that should be okay, I shouldn't say it should be. That sobriety date could have been much, much earlier. I had in the mid 2000s, 2000 teens, I had many, many years of sobriety and I did many things. I had many 24 hours of recovery. And I helped a lot of people, and a lot of people helped me, and was able to be successful in sobriety. But somewhere along the lines, I relapsed. And in that relapse, I went from, eating Vicodin a couple times a week for, for the euphoria, for the energy to feel like super dad. And then I switched to uh, harder opiates, harder pills. I never really went the OxyContin route except in the late or early 2000s. Heroin was always just cheaper, and OxyContins were a hassle to get. Except when I had a family member that was dealing in large, large quantities of them, I always just went straight for the boy. So that means heroin. To those of you who don't know what boy means in street vernacular, boy means heroin. Can you guess what girl means? No, not cocaine. It means crack. Some people might refer to girl as cocaine, but whatever. That's nonetheless, I always digress. I have a habit of digressing. I really have a bad habit of it. And as I'm making YouTube videos, I should probably check that, reel that in a little bit there, buddy, but whatever. So, this is in late teens and late 2000 teens, 15, 16, I began to use heroin recreationally. Now, that is quite a statement. That I was using heroin recreationally, and by recreationally I mean it had not become extremely deadly, detrimental, and dysfunctional. 3Ds. It didn't become. It had not become what it would become. So, that was multiple times a week, but I would go a day or here or there without it. And I managed that for a few years. Things weren't going good, but they were not going bad. They were just existing. Somewhere in that time, I ended up, getting a prescription for benzos, and Xanax are one of my man. Those are tough, man. Those are one of my all-time faves. Um, so when I started mixing the Xanax and the heroin, that really made me really, really mental a lot. Really dangerous. I'd be dangerously high, where I was not safe for me to be around myself or especially my kids or in the house, burning stuff and falling asleep in inconvenient places in crazy places, you know, nodding off all over the place. And I looked not good. I have another, hold on. Oh, I can't bring it up. I don't think I can bring it up. I was going to bring up one of the pictures of me, but I might be able to clip it in there. So anyways, after about 3+ years of that, you know, my wife was struggling, and but I introduced cocaine to the Xanax and the heroin, the crack, and I managed that, you know, for about maybe a year or a year and a half, where like I would smoke and I get, you know, wasted enough, and I would set it down and go to sleep and wake up and do it all over again. But it was maybe a year, probably 4 years into the relapse, is when I got really addicted to crack too. See, I'd never really been addicted to crack. So I was addicted to crack and heroin. And I got to the point to where I would smoke every day. In the morning, wake up, take a hit, and then go through the rest of the day just doing whatever I could manage to do, but all while under the influence of extremely potent narcotics. So after 6+ years, this comes to a head, and you know, me and my wife are separated, and I'm staying in an apartment not too far from the house I stay at today, my house that I own with my wife. Had a restraining order courtesy of my lovely wife. Don't get me started on that, okay? Still a little bit bitter about that, but whatever. Things had to be done. And I understand now. I work in the recovery field now, and I'm a peer support specialist, and I recognize that there comes times where extreme measures have to be taken. I don't think you want to be the consequence for the person who's struggling with addiction, but you shouldn't block them from their consequences. And my wife was both at times, but that nonetheless did not ultimately faze me. My mental health was struggling really bad, and I was very delusional. I was often in cocaine psychosis. And if you don't know what it is, and you never experienced it, it's where your mind really believes things that are not true. It is like if you know a person who's ever really had a real psychotic schizophrenia, where they really believe they're being followed, where they take action behind that belief. So it's a false belief, but they take action behind it. I was kind of living in a state of that, constant that. So I lost a lot of weight. And spent a lot of money and was separated from my wife. And, you know, it was ultimately, I you know, got to a point to where I did not want to continue high, using drugs every day, chasing drugs every day, involved with criminals, scamming, lying, and hustling, spending money that I could have been using on my family or my future. And I decided to ask for help. I went into detox and I went into treatment. I came out of treatment, and my recovery journey began in earnest. And so that's where we're going to leave off this video. That's where we're going to end this video. The next video will be, you know, maybe about my time in treatment and coming out of treatment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And if you have any questions about recovery or addiction, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will answer those right away.